Greetings, family. Sister Shanice in the house. How you doing? I hope you're well. I hope that you have been accomplishing the goals that you've set for yourself today, and that you've already set yourselves even more ambitious ones for tomorrow. Welcome to the Sister Shanice Show platform. If you are not a subscriber, please do hit the subscribe button, like and share. Thank you so much in advance. So there's a case that has just blown up all over the UK and in America as well. And it involves our sister Ngozi Fulani. She is an advocate for an organisation stroke charity called Sista Space. And Sista Space is an organisation that supports women of African heritage who have been affected by abuse. And so they've been doing a phenomenal job in the community for many years now, representing women and girls of African and Caribbean heritage affected by abuse. And so for her works, Ngozi was invited to a charity event that was being held at the Palace. And, she was obviously delighted to go along to this event. But while she was there, she was actually questioned and quizzed in such a way by Lady Susan Hussey that by the end of it, she kind of felt, maybe I'm not welcome here. Lady Susan Hussey is none other than the godmother for Prince William. And she'd also been the lady in waiting for the Queen for many years. So this is how Ngozi describes the conversation that she felt was more like an interrogation. So this is the nature of the conversation. So Lady S makes a beeline or an A-line for Ngozi and moves her hair to look at her name badge and says to her, "Oh, where are you from?" So Ngozi says, "Oh, Sister Space," thinking that she's asking her about the organization. So Lady S says, "No, where do you come from?" So she says, "Oh, we're based in Hackney." "No," says Lady S, "what part of Africa are you from?" So Ngozi says, "I don't know. They didn't leave any records." Lady S, "Well, you must know where you're from. I spent time in France. Where are you from?" She says, "Here in the UK." Lady S, "No. But what nationality are you?" Says, "I'm born here and I'm British." Lady S, "No. But where do you really come from? And where do your people come from?" So Ngozi is like, "My people? Lady, what is this?" Lady S, "Oh, I can see I'm going to have a challenge getting you to say where you're from. When did you first come here?" "Lady, I am British, a British national. My parents came here in the 50s when, oh, I knew we'd get there in the end. You're Caribbean." "No, lady, I am of African heritage, Caribbean descent, and British nationality." "Oh, so you're from..." By then, the conversation was just a blur in Ngozi's mind. Can you believe this? Wow. Let's break this down, family. First of all, as you can see, I've got an image of our sister Ngozi in the background. And as you can see, she looks very regal indeed. And she looks like a queen, doesn't she? And, Lady Hussey, who has worked alongside a queen all of her life as a lady in waiting, can see a queen and spot a queen, can't she? If there's anyone who should know a queen and recognize a queen when she sees one, it's Lady Hussey. So she's recognizing Ngozi as maybe the spitting image of someone who she has seen in a painting in the basement in Buckingham Palace. Now, I know they probably got, because as we know, the royal family does have African heritage, don't they? They come from a lineage of African monarchies. They have African ancestors. And maybe there are images of these ancestors in the basement that we have never seen, but the lady in waiting would have seen. And so she's seen Ngozi in her tiara, looking really regal. And she's thought to myself, oh my gosh, she looks the spitting image of King so-and-so, or Queen so-and-so rather, or she could be the daughter of King so-and-so. So she's like, who are you? Where are you from? She wants to know if she knows who she is, if she knows that she is the descendant of royalty. And if she does know, how much does she know about her royal family? So, you know, that's what came to my mind when I saw how our sister Ngozi looked and how she went to the event, and then the line of questioning, as well as it being, very personal and racist in terms of, no, where are your people from, and refusing to accept that she may well have, as she said, be British. And then it's almost as though she was trying to get her to disclaim her British nationality. And it's like, hold on, Lady Halsey, no. Africans were the rulers of Europe, and we were the original descendants of Europe before there were any white people in England, Ireland, Scotland, or Wales. And she may well be the descendant of one of those that Oliver Cromwell sent to the Caribbean, to Jamaica, who has returned as a descendant of our ancestors. So, we have every right to claim British nationality. We have every right to claim to be the original people of these parts of the world, this part of the world being the UK. We have more of a claim to the United Kingdom or to Britain, England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales than Caucasians do. And maybe she just wanted to know whether we knew that. And the extent to which we knew that, they were actually in our palace. Anyway, I've got a special guest who's going to be joining me in a very short while to give you his views, thoughts, and opinions on this matter. Yeah, so I've got Ronnie, who's an entertainment journalist and has probably been in similar situations to Ngozi, having to attend media events, press events. Let's get a sense of his experience, shall we? But thank you so much for joining me. I'm told that the case regarding Ngozi is all over mainstream media in the UK. I mean, you're a journalist. I know the entertainment field, but this must be, something that must have captured your attention. What's worrying about this story?
Oh, wow. What can I say? It's like, I had to step away from my journalistic entertainment duties, but because this hit home for me because I was invited. I mean, it's been in all of these media news and, social media news handles. I was on my way to Buckingham Palace. Got a phone call yesterday, and I was told that, what is my opinion? And I was like, well, I think when I got the call, I got the invitation like everybody else did. Then I thought, wow, how amazing! This is like, this is one of the kind of like elite kind of invitation that I've ever had since I've been back. I was looking forward to it. And I'm thinking, well, you know what? I got there, and I was the only black journalist there. I'm thinking, I looked around, and I'm thinking, well, why have you invited me? Because they know me very well, being an ex-BBC staff. I've covered the Stephen Lawrence case back in the day. I've covered so many. I want to say, as they say, people of color. I've covered so many black stories over here, and I'm very proud to do that. Again, it's not about the color of our skin. It's about basically the principle. So therefore, when I basically entered the Buckingham Palace doors, I was told by one individual, a security guy, "Oh, who am I here to see?" I showed him a press pass, and he said, "Well, I don't belong here." However, got through. Long story short, I think it's astounding that the ignorance. I mean, my late uncle used to work for Buckingham Palace back in the day. He worked there for 11 years. In regardless of what his title was, and how much he got paid, he was subjected to so much racism within the actual palace in itself. And I was in denial because being brought up in Shepherd's Bush in London. I was the only black kid in the street, in the neighborhood. It's not about that. But for me, it's like all my friends were white. Fine. I always believe in equality, each to their own. And each one should, whether you're black, Hispanic, Irish, wherever you're from, we should be basically educating each other about our culture, where we're from. But it astounded me, and it's shocking that, to be a question, where am I from and do I belong here at the palace?
Wow.
My uncle died 2 years ago. Okay. Apart from, thank you. But apart from that, he grafted. And to hear in this century that to be asked by the godmother of our queen, where are you really from?
So from what you're saying to us, Ronnie, it's pretty much a culture within the palace amongst the staff all the way up, because we're all very familiar already, aren't we, with what Harry and Meghan had to go through. And I remember seeing a WhatsApp video recently, just after, no, it was on the day of the Queen's funeral. And I think it actually came out the day after her funeral, and it was saying that all the black staff were told to tanabak. They were told to keep out of sight on the day of the funeral. So history won't show that there were actually black staff working in the palace. But clearly, there's a lot of work that needs to be done to clean up racism within the palace, amongst the staff, as well as amongst the royal associates themselves. I think it's absolutely disgraceful, the questioning and the line of questioning that Ngozi had to suffer at the palace from someone who should know so much better and be setting an example. But as we know, she has resigned, from her position. So, she jumps before she was pushed. But yeah, this has really blown up. It'd be interesting to see what comes of it. I mean, what do you think ought to come out of this?
Well, you see, Cozy is our representative of every black person. I'm one of them. I was astounded. I was astonished. And I was like privileged to be invited to the palace. Also, it's only now I urge your audience to look at behind the scenes, the Netflix show of Harry and Meghan, behind closed doors. Please watch it, because what the interview that they had with Oprah, when Oprah said, "Oh, wait a minute, who said what? What did they say?" He said, of the young millennials today on your audience base, I can tell you, when you walk, when you talk, make sure your head is lifted up high, because you today are our voices.
Ronnie, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your experience as well at Buckingham Palace. Absolutely shocking in light of all of what's going on. Oh my days. But continue to hold your head up high, family in the audience. Continue to hold your head up high. Be proud of our melanin. Be proud of who you are. We are royalty. We have a phenomenal history that goes back hundreds of thousands of years, one to be proud of. And if you don't know and want to know more about your history, get hold of my book, A Black King of Anglo-Saxon England, King Arthur. In there, to set the context, I give you a lot of historical information about the original people of Britain. Make sure you get that book and you find out the information for yourself. You will not learn it in the school, colleges, or universities, or by the mainstream media. But Sister Shanice has done the research. Check it out. So bye for now, Ronnie.
Bye.
Bye. Please subscribe and share.
Always.
One love. One love.
All right. One love.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.